Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your hosts, Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford, on this great
Thursday,
August 11th.
Thursday. What's up, buddy? How you been?
Stressed.
Stressed.
Yeah, just finished school like we talked about last time. And
Yep.
this week was actually my last week of classes, so I'm all done.
Hey, I'm telling you, to me, it felt like it went by fast. Obviously, to you, I'm sure it didn't. But yeah, welcome to the podcast, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're listening, please hit that follow button or subscribe button there. Make sure you're downloading the podcast. If you're downloading, go ahead and click the 5 stars, if you will. If you're watching, not listening, make sure you subscribe. And again, thanks everybody for all the support week in, week out. We love it. We recorded last week and we put the episode, I think, out the day of the passing of legendary announcer Vince Scully. I know it's been a week, but I wanted to give you a chance to maybe speak. And, although you're not a Dodger fan, I think everybody enjoyed listening to him call games. He's just got that legendary voice and he's been a part of some major history as far as just sports concerned, not just baseball.
Yeah. I don't think you have to be a fan of a team to really like the announcer or the play-by-play guy. A lot of people don't like Kruk and Kipe, and I really enjoy what they have to say, especially when the announcer or play-by-play guy isn't like Vince Scully wasn't always about the Dodgers. He wasn't afraid to talk I guess not bad about the Dodgers, but hey, they're not doing good right now, and that kind of stuff. I think Kruk and Kipe do the same thing. I'm not trying to compare the two to Vince Scully. It's just it's not comparable. But what Vince Scully did for the game, and it's like listen to Paul Leffler on the radio. Like that voice is just like when it comes on, it's there. It gets you into the game. It keeps you in tune to the game. He's been gone for a little while out of the game.
Yeah, out of calling games.
But he's one of those voices where. Like Jeter had their announcer after he passed.
Correct.
Continue with him.
The recording of it.
Vince Scully is that one where if I was a head coach, I would want to get a recording somehow of his voice. I just think it would be cool to collaborate a bunch of the best, colormen of all time and kind of collaborate something and put it at your field. But
yeah, I know talking to Giants fans, they'll always go to Joe Buck in a matchup with the Cardinals, right? He favors the Cardinals, and
yeah,
I don't notice stuff like that because I'm not a Giants fan. Maybe I don't know, but it was definitely a long life, man, and again exposed or part of and called some of the greatest sporting events. Just imagine that lifetime, man. Just being able to be a part of some of that history is insane, and it's helped, I guess. I'll get into that. But before we get further, Golden West Trailblazers.
Yeah, I think I've said it before, my buddy Travis got the head job this year and is starting a new era there. Went with the Wyoming theme with their colors, brown and gold. I think it looks really sick.
Josh Allen-esque.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah. That one.
I like it.
It looks good, and he's like, hey, I got a helmet for you on the podcast. So I brought it today, and we're putting it on, and it's going to be here.
Just when you thought baseball was the only thing we cared about. Nope. I love me some football, bro.
Yeah, I've been watching Hard Knocks.
So I gotta get caught up. I haven't.
It's only the first one.
Is it okay? Did
you watch it?
I've just seen a couple clips.
The Lions?
No, I haven't watched it. And also, being Thursday, you've got The Captain episode 7 tonight as well.
Is it just one?
I think it's just
done 2 the last 2.
Yeah, I saw 7. Maybe it's 2 tonight. I don't know, but I'm excited about that. I saw some of the clips from Hard Knocks. That's why I thought I missed more than one episode. Love that shit.
It's great. It's great.
It honestly doesn't matter. Does it matter what the team is?
No, because they're all professional athletes. They're all having one goal. But then you get to see the ins and outs of how they act around with their coaches and their players. And, the Lions didn't have a great season, but Coach Campbell is doing so many good things over there. And, he's that one coach where, there's a lot of them, but just listening to him talk, I want to play for that guy. Like I want to play for the guy.
It's the vibe out there. It's kind of like what you're seeing people post stuff on. Very interesting. Yeah, I love watching Hard Knocks. I love that kind of, docu-series type of thing.
That's what I think they should start it with spring training.
Yeah, the more. Well, we've talked about that. We've mentioned, and they know they do the 30 clubs in 30 days, but
that's one day.
Yeah, and you
don't even get to do a lot. You talk to one player. Like this, you get the whole everything, all the players, all the coaches, the front office conversations they have about cutting guys.
Yeah, what's going into the decision making. Yeah,
then we would see more of like in baseball, we'd see more call-ups and like the actual, hey, you made it to the big leagues, and like those moments, you'd get to see it on TV. And
I know hockey follows a team. They do the season. They'll follow the season team.
I know Ole Miss has done theirs.
They've done baseball. I think Michigan football did it.
They did it twice.
So yeah, that stuff's pretty badass.
The MLB is just so screwed up.
Well, we'll get into that as well. We'll pace ourselves. I know we've been kind of hesitant to speak on stuff in our area, and we've talked about Fresno City. That job is still open. The ball is rolling there. Out of respect to Fresno City, the baseball program, the process it takes to hiring coaches, we're going to let that process play out, and when it comes to, we'll talk about it. So the ball is rolling, and that's pretty much all we want to talk or get out there right now. The process has started, and hopefully we'll know soon how that all plays out. But getting into some more college stuff, and again, no more wasting time. Twitter the last couple days has been kind of on fire. It's been 2 or 3 days since I've seen it. Is Butch Bacala, and he posted something regarding Texas Tech baseball. I've got the quote here from Twitter. Not in the world of hurting people, but what has happened at Texas Tech University, cutting 6 kids on August 2nd and a freshman in the school's weight room, is just not cool. Tim Tadlock, head coach of Texas Tech, obviously all about winning because he obviously doesn't care about people. That's a quote. Those are not my words. And that was posted a couple days ago regarding some situation at Texas Tech. Personally, I've heard things regarding that program over the last couple of years, and I've heard similar stories at other schools, so I don't want to single out Texas Tech. I don't know Coach Tadlock. They've had a lot of success recently. I think it's. I don't like being the putting it out there about obviously doesn't care about people because kids go there, they stay there, they spend their college years playing there. I'm sure you can find shitty things that happen or go on, or kids getting upset at most schools. I don't know where to start with this. I'll let you start with it, but before we go there, like I haven't seen any updates. Like I haven't seen any thing from Texas Tech come out regarding the situation. And maybe I missed it. If I did, let us know in the comments or tweet at us or something. But what's your take on that situation or that tweet calling out Texas Tech for letting kids go? One in August, and then obviously one during the weight room.
Well, first of all, we don't know the whole story.
Okay.
So
number one,
we don't know the whole story. Second of all the Division I schools are getting their rosters back down to 35. They have to, per the NC2A. And I've came across this problem trying to get my guys out of Fresno City. I mean, I have Division I players that can't go Division I because there's just no room. Everybody's getting rid of guys. The portal is ginormous. Those schools are going to go after the portal first. It's like I had a guy bat 400. He's a Division I baseball player, and he's going to walk on somewhere. That's just the way it's happening right now. So the thing with this is I can assume.
And having said that, is that where you're going? Well, having said kid having to walk on, we don't even know if that could be the situation.
This honestly could be a situation of walk-ons. This could be a situation of, hey, we still have 40 guys. We still have 40-some guys. The new crop's coming in here. These guys, maybe they showed up out of shape. Maybe they, that's what I'm saying. We don't know the whole story. You're not guaranteed your scholarship. You get your scholarship, you have to keep it. By working hard or getting better. Just to come out and say that he only cares about winning. Yeah, he does care about winning.
Well, find me a D1 coach that doesn't care about winning.
I mean, that he's not going to be a coach.
Find me one.
Like,
find me any coach at any college, whether it's D1, 2, 3, NAIA, JUCO. Find me one that doesn't care about winning.
And I'm not trying to like
defend
be on their side.
Yes, I got
because yes, they have over recruited in the past and it has come to backfire. But
are they the only school that does that?
No, probably not. But this doesn't bother me. You think I care that 6 guys got cut August 2nd?
Well, again, if they're walk-ons, like, you know the risk you're taking. You're not guaranteed a spot as a walk-on.
No. And I don't know if they're walk-ons. I don't know if their scholarship.
And that's what I'm saying. If people
5%,
know the details, please, by all means, let us know the details.
Because let's be honest as well, is all these people committing, I mean, they're just committing to a school. Some might not even be getting scholarships. Some might be only on academic money. You know what I mean? So you're not even owed anything to the baseball program. So if you're not coming in, and that's what I love about some of these tweets, and I think it's the – what's that, NBL or
Next Level
Baseball posts a lot of great stuff about like get stronger, get faster, be in the weight room, come ready to go when you step on campus.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys are just playing games all summer. They're not concentrating on their bodies and getting prepared to step on campus. And you got to be a grown man at 18 years old, 17 years old. You know, you're competing with those kids. And it's just like, we don't know the whole story, so I can't get mad at this situation, especially knowing that everybody's cutting down their rosters. Everybody's trying to get to 35. And, you know, maybe it was a situation where we don't even know. He might have called these guys and said, hey, look, this is what it is. If you come in and, you know, I mean, obviously they've probably been there for a little while and you're not doing what we tell you to do, or you didn't come in at the weight you wanted, or, you know, it happens. That's what they do.
Well, also, I don't know who's I think, okay, I did get some info. And as far as there's 9 kids that they lost to the transfer portal. And so I started, well, what was the production that they lost? Texas Tech had 9 kids transfer out. And they lost a total of 42 innings, equating to a 6.99 ERA, 35 strikeouts
Solid.
to 17 walks. So,
it gets better. Go ahead.
The offensive guys they lost out of the transfers out, 84 at-bats, and it was a 202 batting average combined with a home run, 24 Ks, and 10 walks.
Solid.
So it wasn't it obviously doesn't look like they lost some core key contributors. Obviously, it's a team thing, and everybody, you know, is involved in part of that team, and it takes everybody. But it doesn't look like they lost some significant guys to the transfer portal. They did gain a couple. I didn't get much info on them. I also saw people commenting, well, the draft plays a role. People are defending Texas Tech. Well, with the draft being so late, where do you stand on that?
I agree. I don't like the draft
the people,
as late as it is.
People are really pissed off about how late this went down. This is August. These kids now are kind of fucked.
Are they?
Well,
are they though?
That's what they're saying. I'm telling you, this is what I'm reading. That they're, you know, if they want to go somewhere else, it's August, school's starting at most places. There's nowhere to go other than maybe kickback.
Well, first of all, they're probably not really good players. I mean, if you're at a Division I, you're a good player.
We don't know.
But I mean, they're not going to get rid of their dudes, you know, on August 2nd. And that's why we don't know the whole story. We don't know if these guys were walk-ons, if they were, how big their scholarship was, or, you know, anything like that, or the portal's still going on. You know what I mean? They're still getting guys from the portal. Maybe a kickback, you know, maybe they just got 6 guys.
I mean, is the number real? Like, I thought I saw somewhere like it was pushing 4,000 kids.
Yeah, that's real.
Like, how the fuck does that happen, dude? I saw another number of girls softball. Out of all the girls that entered in the transfer portal, 36 or 37% never found a home.
Yeah, it's scary. That's what I'm saying. It's like the grass isn't always greener. Why don't you stay and water your lawn? That thing I put out there, that's just freaking awesome. Like, compete for a job, try to win a job. Yes, there are situations, you know, we've talked about that the transfer is beneficial. But for 37% in softball, it's probably going to be higher in baseball that don't have anywhere to play, that were at a Division I already. Like, it's embarrassing for the game.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the guys at our level of junior college that are trying and have put up the numbers to, you know, try getting to that level.
Yeah, it's a struggle right now. I know you've had a hell of a time. And so getting into that and this, like, I don't want to sit here and just bash Texas Tech.
No.
And again, we don't know the details. Maybe it was a fucked up situation. I don't know. It very well could be. And if people know, please let us know. I'd love to know. I've looked for stories or some articles.
And how does this get out?
Well,
the player's mad. And
probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, grow up. It's just like not playing. Daddy, mommy, he didn't play me. Go get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Ultimately.
If you're at Texas Tech and like get released, you can find a place.
Well, I was going through some stuff and I was listening and put a video up of Labby talking about, the kid not playing in the spring, and he's like, well, we played all summer. And he's like, yeah, you cut a check all summer. And if you didn't play, you started another team. Is this a product of that as well? Of the generation of travel ball and what it's become? Maybe. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of very good organizations out there, so I'm not shitting on all of them. I'm just saying there are some in particular that it's like, well, you raise some eyebrows with it. And again, I don't want to be the guy to bash Texas Tech. It doesn't look good. You know what I mean? I get where to people it looks shitty.
Yeah.
It looks bad, and maybe it is bad. Again, we don't know all the details. But you being a guy that talks to recently a lot of Division I, II, everybody to get, guys from Fresno City out, what is the common theme? Like, how many guys are looking for needs? They're not just looking for everybody.
No.
They don't just, we got 8 guys that are looking to transfer. You want any of them? Well, no, we need this.
Yeah.
Like what? So there was a question on Twitter about what are good questions to ask these schools, these coaches, these recruiters? What are some good questions for players, parents to ask?
So during the year, you try to keep up to date with the coaches that you have a relationship with of how guys are doing. After the season, obviously you have to wait till their season to be over because they're grinding. It was sad because a lot of my players like, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? It's like, dude, these guys are grinding out their college season. Like, I'm not trying to email and bug them and text them every week. So you kind of let it die down, and plus there's dead periods and stuff.
Well, they don't forget about recruiting.
No, they don't forget about recruiting, but they're trying to win baseball games.
They're in season.
So when I reached out the last time, I said, hey, I got guys available. What are your needs? That's the first thing I say. What are your needs? Do you want to see video on guy? And a lot of them say, I need a rotation guy, and I need a power bat. Is a lot of the things that I get. And I'm like, okay, I can, I either can help you or I can't help you, and that's how the conversation goes. If I think, okay, I have a ball player, right? I have a guy that's a ball player. He's showing some power this summer, so I'll send video. But a lot of the times they want the best of the best. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? So I think as a parent, you have to see where you fit in. Are you even one of the best in your league? Are you one of the best on your team? If you're not, then you're probably not a good fit for the best of the best of Division I.
It's good to want to go there.
It's great to want to go there.
It's great to aspire to get there.
Who doesn't want to go there?
Of course.
Like we did. We wanted to be a Division I baseball player. We wanted to be a big leaguer. Like who doesn't want to do that? But we're talking about the elite of the elite, and the minimal percent to ever play moves on in this game. And it's just like, look in the mirror first. See how good you really are. How good are you?
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah. I throw 83 miles an hour. Well, a Division I school is probably not going to want a guy that throws 83 miles an hour.
Like, would it be if you felt like you were a guy, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Our area's got some really good high school baseball. And there's good high school baseball all over the place. But around here, right, let's say I play in the track, which is one of the better leagues in our section. And I said, I'm going to privately, hey, coach, I want my coach to evaluate me. And maybe I throw out an email to like all the coaches in the track. And like, hey, coach, honest, when the year's over, I'd love an evaluation of how you thought I played.
Well, you did get evaluated by everybody. Are you a first teamer?
Sure. But that can also be politicized.
True.
We've seen that in the past. We've seen guys that we kind of raise our eyebrows like, oh, he's an honorable mention, or he's a second teamer. Sometimes an honest, fair, like evaluation. I don't know. And you're right. Maybe you are. Maybe that's over the top. But people are wanting to know what are some things we can do, because I think being honest with yourself is
That's
big.
number one.
Because I felt that way. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to go play here and here. And when I got to like my sophomore year, and I'm like, oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was. And my senior year was like, fuck, I'm really not as good as it's really hard. And I'm not one of those guys that's that level. It's a real kick in the balls to mentally get yourself there and be like, admit that, no, maybe my only option is JUCO or whatever.
Which there's nothing wrong
No,
with.
there's not. There's plenty of opportunity, and there's plenty of ways to get ultimately where you want to get. We've said it a million times. But again, people want to know what are some realistic things that we can do or ask to get there. We've talked about knowing recruiting calendar.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Knowing when it's the right time to go play all these travel ball events. I've heard Pat Ware say it. I've heard Ovi say it. We've heard Coach Batesel say it. Coach Purse, all of them. Coach Eager, everybody we've had on here said it. Like, the recruiting calendar is big. Know who's signing there. Look at their roster. All this stuff's available.
Yeah.
Who's leaving? Who got drafted? The reputation of that coach. How many guys leave every year? Or 5, 6, 7 guys transferring out every season? That doesn't look too good. Social media is big. Find some past players.
Yeah.
Message a player, 4 or 5 guys. If you're a pitcher, find a couple pitchers that just played there. Hey, what'd you think of coach? And what'd you think of the pitching coach? And what'd you think of the program? And pick their brain.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think, emails don't hurt. Every coach in the country's got an email. It's pretty much on their website. And just be honest. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I want to know what you are looking for when you're recruiting. What type of player are you looking for? And when they get back to you, then you got to be honest with yourself again. Am I that? Am I that type of player? And I think and it's the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do is tell yourself that you're not that.
Right.
But there's a fit for everybody. If everybody was, meant to go to Vanderbilt, then nobody else would be good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a fit for everybody. And there's a lot of good players that play JUCO that get drafted, NAI that get drafted, Division II, Division III, they get drafted. So it's just like, what's your best fit and what type of player can you be? You ultimately want to give yourself the best opportunity to succeed. Is it, I got a scholarship to Vanderbilt, but I'm never going to play. But hey, I got to go to Vanderbilt, which is great academically. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you're going there.
But I never played. But you want to get to the big leagues? No. Then there's nothing wrong going to a mid-major. I know some people don't like called mid-majors, but it's true. It's a mid-major, or a JUCO or NAI or D2. But if that's the best place for me to go play, get my at bats, get my playing time, then why not go there and do the best you can and try to move on?
No, I agree with that. I just. Parents don't know. It's like,
well, parents need to be truthful as well. Is my son really this? Is my son really that?
Yeah.
Like, we're telling the players to look in the mirror. The parents need to look in the damn mirror and look at their kids.
Be realistic too
be like, yeah, it's great. My kid's going here, here, and here, and here. Yeah, well,
you hear a lot of people lately, and I'm reading these threads regarding the Texas Tech thing, about the NCAA's involvement and, kids committing in 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. And it's like, what is it for? It's really only just because, you're committed to what? What are you committed to?
Nothing.
Until
you're really not committed to anything.
Until you sign anything, it's nothing. It's all.
And that's what you see. I'm committed here. This is the place for me. This is the right fit for me. A year later, I'm not going here. This place is the right fit for me. Where else place is the right fit for you?
Where else have you been? Have you been exposed to anything else?
Take your visits.
Unless mom and dad went there and it's a tradition thing and my family. Even at that, it's that still may not be the right fit for you.
I wanted to be a Bulldog. Didn't happen. I took what the best fit for me was. And I went to a mid-major at Oral Roberts that I didn't even know anything about. But I went on my visit. I loved it. I saw how many California JUCO players they had. I felt like home. I felt like I was going to go be able to be myself. I wasn't going to, have like these guys that have been there for 4 years. And, it's a different mindset when you have a bunch of JUCO bandits that are playing together. And I just felt like that was my fit. Would I have wanted to go to a big time school where you can buy merchandise and get all the crap and everything you want? Hell yeah. But that wasn't for me. That wasn't my path. And I'm okay with that. And we ended up being one of the best teams in school history.
Well, it's just you fell in love with a place that you never thought you would want.
And a coach.
Visited. Well, yeah, absolutely. But visited, right? Or
that was the first time I've ever flown in my life.
Or knowing that it
was
existed.
On my visit.
Right, knowing it existed.
I went to Oklahoma thinking I was going to see cowboys running around. Like I didn't know. I was in a bubble here in Fresno in the city, bro. I honestly was like, dude, there's going to be cowboys and there's going to be horses at restaurants. And like, dude, I didn't know what I was getting into. It was just a normal city. But I fell in love with it. And I don't regret it.
Well, and this is had some questions. Was Cuero gloves, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And shout out. We need to get some HIT.OR.DIE gloves. As a matter of fact,
I know we're working on it.
But I think reaching out, like again, watching. If you have one, can you get into the school? Like, there's a lot of factors, and don't be set dead red on a Division I school. It's a lot. I don't know how the NCAA gets involved. Again, does 11.7, I've heard, does that play a role? There's probably a lot of things that play a role.
Yeah.
And factor into why some of these coaches do what they do. And I know it's scary because you're seeing more of it. And you're seeing more kids commit very young. And it's like, you have to almost. I don't know why, but it's like, all these guys are getting really, really young commits. It scares me.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before, like the difference from our freshman and sophomore year to our senior year, like just as players, like it's a big difference. But yeah, and we talk about JUCO and like, dude, other states, they give scholarships. Like all the other states give scholarships to JUCOs. That's why it's a great option. Going to junior college, you get school paid for, go do your 2 years of GED and play good baseball and give yourself that opportunity to get better and then get that chance to play Division I baseball.
I mean, it's really hard because everybody's different. Everybody's looking for different things out of what they want academically, athletically. I've known players, and we had a player, like very good baseball player, was an excellent pitcher, standout around here, and kind of just loved playing, but he didn't feel like if he didn't make it professionally, it wasn't the end of the world. His end of the world was, well, academically, this is what I want to do. And an opportunity came about to where he could play baseball and achieve what he wanted academically, and that was what he looked at. And what he wanted academically, this school offered, all the things he wanted professionally as a person, not as a player.
Yeah.
And so it was for him the best of both worlds. I get to play some baseball, but I'm going to get to do, and attack my career path. Yeah. He unfortunately never got drafted, but that was how he approached the decision on what school he went to, because he could have gone to a couple. And this scholarship offer I don't even think was as good as some of the other ones he got. But this school academically was exactly what he wanted for his future. Mm-hmm. And that's why he took that route. So it just depends also on what you want. Yeah. Playing professional was just icing on the cake for him. It was, maybe it's not always a goal for everybody. I don't know. Some kids are different.
Yeah.
But I think asking as many questions as possible. You can't ask them too many questions. If they don't want to answer the questions, then
they just won't answer it.
Yeah. Or you could look at it like, well, there's a reason why. Maybe there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to answer certain specific questions, that may be all you need to know about what school you're talking to. So, again, if there's more details out there on Texas Tech and all that stuff, I would love to get it. Message us anytime. We'll be gladly to talk about it. The other thing that's been going on is Little League. Little League road to Williamsport. Every year you always see some interesting stuff, some cool storylines, some cool things happen. Recently this week, there was a young man that got the pitcher ball got away from him and hit the kid in the head. And runner goes to first base after a moment. And the pitcher's really shook up about it. And on the broadcast, you hear about how a cool moment it is that the kid was rattled and the runner kind of went over to him and said, "Hey, man, we're good. It's okay." A lot of conversation of how great a sportsmanship that was. And then on the flip side, a lot of people are like, why is this cool? We're competing. There's a trip to Williamsport on the line. Like, you can play patty cake, I think is one I saw after the game. And again, before I give my opinion, what was your thoughts on it? I can go first. I don't care if you want. I was kind of with option two, bro.
I don't know what to say because I don't want people to think I don't care about sportsmanship, because I do.
Well, obviously that wasn't terrible sportsmanship.
No.
You can't argue that was bad sportsmanship.
It was just a little excessive.
Like, do it from first base. Like, hey, Mike, we're good.
We're good.
Give him a little point.
We're good.
You're competing, right? Like, the kid didn't mean to hit you.
No.
I think everybody in the world saw that. Like, we're not trying to hit kids in the head. Shit happens. Balls get away. Happens in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Is it like the
next question?
No, go ahead.
No, it's just still going. It's still going. Like, just stop. Okay, we got it. Somebody got hit in the head accidentally. The pitcher is a kid, right? He's a kid. He feels, that he knows he didn't do it on purpose, right, but he just feels bad. He could have hurt somebody.
Right.
I get that, and he's just emotional and whatever. And then the batter comes over and gives him a hug for a couple. I mean, it looked awkward too. Like, the way it happened, like the pitcher never hugged him back, or it just looked awkward. And it's just like, we're still talking about it. Not just us, because we talked about it the first time, but it's still getting talked about over and over again. And it's like, okay, yes, great for the kid. The kid had great sportsmanship, but let's move on. Is there just nothing else to talk about? So we're still trying to talk about the same thing? I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question.
Nobody noticed it before the base runner did? The kid crying? The pitcher? Not a teammate, not a coach. Noticed the kid's out there bawling his eyes out?
Yeah.
And the first one over there is the base runner?
And then that's another thing, is the dude's on the ground acting like he's dead, pretty much, rolling around. And then all of a sudden he pops up and everything's good, and
he's 12.
I know he's 12, but it hit the helmet.
I'm just fucking
I don't know, dude. I've been hit too. So don't even, you've been hit. Yeah, I've been hit by 90 plus, big time.
We've all been hit. And I've never thought for 2 seconds to think I got to go tell the pitcher, hey, bro, it's okay. You hit me.
I've also never been am I really hurt? Okay, I'm not hurt.
Unless I'm
go to first base.
Really hurt, maybe.
That's what I'm saying is and I know he's 12 and the ball hurts more. Okay. I don't know.
We could have just.
It was good sportsmanship.
It was. That's fine. But was it? I don't know, man.
Why didn't he go console the hitter when he hit him? I don't know. I'm going to get heat either way. So it's not that I would say don't do that, but I just think it was. I mean, he easily could have been hey, man, I'm good. Let's go. I'm good. To go over and hug somebody, and I'm a hugger. You know that.
Yeah, you're definitely not a fighter.
I'm a hugger.
You're a lover at heart.
It's just, I don't know if I would have told CJ to go over and hug the guy. I would have just been we're good, man.
Let's move on.
Go steal second.
It's part of competing, right?
It is. It happens. It was an accident.
Football's, you light somebody up.
But then again, we're talking about kids.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm going to get heat.
At that age.
That's going to be the big thing. We're talking about kids. You're attacking a kid.
I'm not attacking anybody.
I'm not attacking anybody either. I just think it was just a bit
much. I think nobody questioned that it wasn't good sportsmanship. Just again, it was odd.
I mean, because you've still seen some more where somebody hits somebody, he'll go over in first base and like shake his hand.
If you hit a nuke off a pitcher and the first baseman's high five in the base,
which they're doing,
it's
annoying.
That's not cool. No, you're on my team, not his team.
You're trying to go to Williamsport.
You're on fucking my team. What are you doing?
Slap hands.
What are you doing? We are not boys at that point. Come on, dude.
No, not between the lines.
It's not like you strike out and the kids from the dugout that are hitting point at the pitcher. Nice, bro. It was a good little curveball.
Or to the umpire and be like, hey, great.
There was a lot of mixed discussion out in the social media world about that play.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people got some shit because they just felt like it was not necessary. Move on. Play the game.
That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of people be like, are we still talking about this?
Yes.
And that's how I feel.
So then we shouldn't talk about it? Is that what you're saying?
No, we haven't talked about it yet. It just happened, yesterday?
It was a few days ago.
Or 2 days ago. So, yeah.
We can move on. Because there's a lot of shit that's been going on, right? Major League Baseball. I know everybody's geared up for football and excited for football, as am I. Fresno State, the Dogs start September 1, hosting Cal Poly. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun year for our football program. High school football here in the area is getting underway. So a lot of football talk. People are getting energized. The NFL, obviously, we were talking Hard Knocks earlier. But dude, baseball, I think, is going to have a really fun playoff. MLB.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this playoff season. And I think before we jump into football, let's get there. And it will. Everybody always has fun in October. It's sneaking its way into November a little bit. But some of the MLB news thread this last week saw Chris Sale is done after a bike accident for 2022. Had surgery, and he's it. Season's over. The guy's had a rough bout the last few years.
Who was his bike partner? Was it Brandon?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Biden?
But
Let's go, Brandon. That's what I was going with.
Got you. I've
seen trying to be
there was somebody
non-political.
Somebody, yeah. Well, fuck. Yeah, it's another day, another topic, another podcast.
Watch your lips.
Watch your lips. He, fell off a bike. Apparently, I've had a couple of conversations with people like that. That's not he didn't fall off no bike. Yeah. Well, who knows what happened? The conversation though was about contracts and how, that guy's pitched roughly I thought I saw 80 innings the last 3 seasons. It's just been, but that's after an extension, right? They did win a World Series in 2018, so it wasn't all for naught.
Yeah,
it's not like the Rendon contract with the Angels, who hadn't gotten a World Series.
Playoffs.
Haven't even made the playoffs yet. So, but yeah, Chris Sale's year is over. The other one was a cell phone popping out of Rodolfo Garcia, Castro Garcia. I forget his name.
Who cares? How does that happen?
It was Castro.
How's your phone even in the dugout? And I know somebody said it was in his.
The coach did. It
was in his.
Manager said it was in his oven mitt.
His oven mitt for base running. Okay, so you get to first base, you put your oven mitt on. Oh no, my phone's there. Maybe I should just put this back in my back pocket. No, maybe I should hand it to the first base coach. Maybe that's really what happened, but that's not what it seems like. Or maybe
they're not supposed to be in the dugout.
No, you can't have any.
They're allowed to have, I think, tablets.
Yeah, just what
MLB. Yeah. I'm assuming issued tablets, just like the NFL has their stuff.
Yeah.
There was the coach came out and kind of said, it was in his deal, his mid. He didn't feel it in there. He wears it in the outfield, so didn't even think anything of it. I mean, it came out. He didn't realize it was out. The umpire noticed it, kind of had a chuckle about it. I believe that maybe he didn't know it was there. I don't know how you don't feel that.
Well, he was base running. His mitt was on his oven mitt, which is
I shouldn't even be in the dugout. I guess that's the ultimate is like, why is it
did
even
it
with
put
your
in the oven mitt?
Yeah, why is it even with your
No, it's in the locker
stuff?
I mean, I wore one of those. Not like they're not as cool as they are now. It was just a wrist guard with the metal.
You
plate.
like them? You think they're cool?
I do. I would wear one.
Would you?
Yeah, because when I slid, I got a bruise on my thumb all the time. Because you slide feet first, I always put my hand back. You're not supposed to, but it happened. I used to get a bruise.
Jam up your thumb too.
So I used to wear one.
I don't know what the league's going to do. I know as policy, you're not supposed to. I'm sure Major League Baseball will address it.
Or a slap on the wrist.
The other thing, and we kind of, last episode, we right during the deadline, we talked on the day of the deadline is when we recorded. And you had a comment of the Dodgers making a move for Joey Gallo.
Great move.
And I believe it was sarcastic the first or last week.
Well, I did give him hitting advice on that podcast.
You did break down some adjustments.
And
are you saying he's listening?
Yeah.
Shout out Uncle Truck on Twitter. He wasn't afraid to let us know, hey, Dodgers are on a roll. They're not scared. Obviously.
No, they're not scared. They're the best team in baseball.
They're the hottest team in baseball as well. And that hurts me to say it. I'm not a Dodger fan. Neither of us are.
It doesn't hurt me to say it at all because I care less. But, yeah, I mean.
I will say relax. He's had 15 at-bats. He's four hits.
So what'd you tell me?
267 he's hitting right now with the Dodgers and 15 at-bats.
What'd you tell me he said about playing?
So he gave an interview after he hit up an Oppo home run.
Yeah, which we talked about.
That it's different playing out here in LA. There's people cheering for him, rooting for him to have success. They're not hating while he's on the on deck circle. Like, it's just a much more positive vibe and feel. And I asked you earlier, like, it's got to play somewhat of a role in your psyche, especially when you're struggling.
Well, especially when you're at home.
And you're not in
fans,
not in New York.
Like,
was it just the atmosphere? I mean, because a lot of guys do well.
Well,
can handle New York.
And that's the thing. He wasn't doing well in New York, so he's getting booed. If he was doing well in New York, he would have been getting cheers. We saw it with Jeter. Jeter got booed in New York. So, I mean, I feel like that happens everywhere, right? It happened in Chicago or New York with the Mets, right? When Baez did that whole thumbs down thing or whatever. Was it? I don't know what they did, or I forget what they did. It wasn't the thumbs down. It was New York Yankees did the thumb down or something. But he did something that was for the fans, like saying, like, screw you, kind of. You know, I mean, it happens everywhere.
They were booing him, and he
When you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars to play a sport, and as hard as this sport is, you are supposed to, I don't know how I'm losing my words right now. You are supposed to live up to it, right? Technically. If I'm a fan and you're paying this guy $300-something million, he needs to live up to that. He needs to be a good baseball player every single day he comes out there. And as hard as the game is,
you got to be productive.
Yeah, you have to be
consistently productive.
And if you're not, I'm paying your damn salary in the stands. I'm going to let you know about it. I bought this $25 beer and the $200 hot dog, and you know, I'm going to let you know how I feel. You're not living up to the amount of money that we're paying you. And fans have every right to do that. And trust me, I've been in stadiums where it's not fun. It's not fun to be booed or name called or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not. But it's part of the game. You know, sometimes you just have to embrace it and be like, dude, you're here watching me. Like, you call me whatever you want. I'm down here making money. I mean, I wasn't. I was in college, whatever.
Right, but for the most part, that's what these guys.
I'm making millions of dollars for you to boo me. Like, who cares? I'm gonna try to go. You know, you can't really say that's why I did bad. Like, I don't believe that one bit. I do think that, you know, it plays mental. It's mental games with you, but I don't know.
Well, I guess,
and I'm sure it's hard to play in New York.
I guess knowing like how you were playing in New York, like, and he admitted, like, I stunk, I wasn't good there.
And
I
if
struggled.
he stinks playing with the Dodgers, he's been, you know, after our conversation, he starts using a good approach. But if he goes back to his old ways, he's gonna get booed in L.A. You don't think L.A. fans are just as bad as New York fans?
Absolutely,
with
I
how
agree.
much they love their Dodgers. He will get booed. So that's why I don't even care what he said, because he's going to get booed wherever he plays if he plays like he normally does. But he finally has figured out an approach, and he's hitting the ball where he's supposed to.
I guess I'm saying, though, that, like, knowing what it was in New York.
Oh, it's probably a relief, yes.
The people out here in L.A. knew, and they probably questioned the move also. Like, what? Gallo? But yet he gets here, and they're happy to have him. They embraced him from the get-go. Like, that has to be a big confidence booster.
Yeah, I agree.
To come into a fan base that knows you've been struggling, and there are going to be those that question the move, and yet you still show up, and your first time out in a Dodger uniform, you're embraced and cheered for. Well, holy shit.
Well, yeah, you haven't done anything bad in Dodger uniform yet.
Fair. But again, in 15 at-bats, 267, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. And the home run was an Oppo bomb, so. Mm-hmm. And I think 2 of the other hits were opposite field hits. So it looks like some things are being worked on and some adjustments are being.
Plus, their hitting coach is a Fresno State guy, and Brant Brown.
Yes, he is.
So he was taught by the Mike Rupsich in the old way of hitting. So maybe they're, starting with the ground up, working on approach.
The other thing that's been going on in the news, traveling far and wide because of how electric it is, and there's no denying it is electric, dude, is Edwin Diaz. And his song coming out to close with the New York Mets. Mm-hmm. Bro, it's so fun to watch the people just go crazy. And I was trying. What do you think? You're ready to go throw bullets when you hear?
Oh, dude, I'm ready to go to the plate. And, I'd want to face him because it's getting me jacked up. Well, let's go, bro. Mano y mano. Hermano y hermano. Wamo, wamo.
How do you not dance to it?
How do you not?
That's what
how do you not move, bro?
Everybody that's talking about it's like, how do you not?
We need to hit up Hefner, bro, and just tell us how electric the stadium is when he comes in.
Call him right now. Are they on an off day?
I don't know. They're 3 hours ahead, New York.
Then the Mets also, I saw the other day, had Jacob deGrom when he goes out to start pitching to Simple Man, which was pretty cool. And then you had, I got to bring it up, bro.
Go ahead.
The Mr. Vogelback bringing out, because he's been in the spotlight a little bit.
Danny Bagas.
Danny fucking Bagas. Hey, he's been in some highlight reels that you've seen. Second to home with some speed. Can't argue. He moves pretty well for a bigger guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Better than you?
Not now, yes.
Go back 20 years.
Not when I was playing.
Or you're 30. You're young
37.
still. So, yeah, go back 15 years.
Oh, no. He didn't.
He came out to, I think my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Because people tease him a little bit about his appearance.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He is a big boy. But the Mets have been out and about in social media. It's kind of fun to watch.
And they're in first place.
They are. Which is what I want to get to. Some of the hottest teams right now in the MLB. Mets, I think this was as of yesterday. Mets were 8-2 out of their last 10. St. Louis 8-2. The Dodgers, as of today, are 10 straight. And we'll get to the Padres in a minute. But the Fighting Phils, 9-1. That was as of yesterday. And the Padres, since the deadline, 3-5. So they're losing ground. Obviously, again, the West was pretty much wrapped up, I think, when they made the moves. I'm trying to figure out how they would win the West. And I don't think anybody thought that would happen anyways. But the Dodgers would have to play like 500 baseball the rest of the way through. So the West was pretty much wrapped up, but they are, in that wild card spot. We'll get into that too. The Central in the American League was close with Cleveland and Minnesota and Chicago, I think all within like 2 games of each other. Milwaukee, St. Louis also pretty tight. Baltimore is not quite 0.0. I think I saw with like 1.5 or 2 of the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I have the wild card printed out, but they're 7-3 of the last 10. In fact, that's the best record in the American League in the last 10 games. The Baltimore Orioles. How about that shit? Tell me that doesn't surprise you.
Oh, yeah, it does.
The Yankees have been struggling big time.
Not Judge.
They finally got off the, I think, losing streak last night. So still well ahead in the American League East. But got some things to figure out a little bit. Road trip out here on the West Coast. Maybe that's a little bit part of the issue. I don't know, man. I don't have to. I can't imagine how grueling the schedule is. You know, we've talked about like even Jason, and that's embracing that part of the grind of it. And the other thing that came out today, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani joins Babe Ruth as only players in MLB history to have 10 home runs and 10 wins in a single season. In the same season. 10 home runs, 10 wins. Are we clapping sarcastically?
Who cares?
Bro, you haven't flipped on Ohtani at all?
He's a great player.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would ever deny that.
But these are all records that no pitcher's ever hit since Babe Ruth. So it's like, okay, cool. It's not like there's been 50 pitchers since Babe Ruth that have hit and had a chance to get this.
I know last year we argued a little bit for Vlad in the MVP race. Actually, a lot. We pulled for Vlad a lot. You're not a little more impressed that he's doing it again, Ohtani?
Yeah, I'm impressed, but like next time we're gonna see he's the only pitcher in history to have 3 triples in a season and have 1 win. Or you know what I mean? Like, yeah, no crap.
That was,
like,
I think, one of the stats last year.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like, we get that. Like, he's gonna be the first pitcher to hit 250 and have a ERA under 3. Okay, cool, man. Yeah, we know. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Is like we just keep making these stats up that are like, okay, yeah, we know Babe Ruth was the only one, and Babe Ruth didn't even do it, pitch and hit at the same time for a long time. You know what I mean? So
well, he didn't pitch for a long time. He
started out as a pitcher,
correct,
and hitter, and then when he went to the Yankees, he didn't pitch anymore. So, I mean, what are we doing here? We're making up records that, yeah, they're records, but what's the big deal?
It's Babe
Ruth. It's impressive.
It's Babe Ruth.
Yeah, but there was 19-0 whatever. And I'm not saying it's not impressive, but like, okay, Ohtani's good. We know that. I'm not discrediting that he's not good. And what he's doing, especially pitching and hitting now, he's not just DH and then pitching and not hitting when he pitches. Yes, that's very impressive. But it's like it's throwing out Captain Obvious stats. I guess that's what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, okay, thanks, Captain Obvious. We know he broke another record. He's the first pitcher to win a game and have 4 hits in a game. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. I don't know. That's just me. And he's a great player. I'm not taking anything away from him, but
when it comes to them posting the relatable stats to Babe Ruth,
dude, it's like,
I got you.
Come on.
You know, also today, Thursday, is the Field of Dreams game, and you got the Cubs and the Reds.
Yeah.
Kind of a
great game.
For that matchup, for that game. And is there these 2 teams going to top the first game with a walk-off from Chicago playing New York? I don't. We'll have to. It's in the second inning now, no score, but we couldn't have found a better set of clubs.
I don't know.
This is how it ties.
I don't know how they choose the
Cubs and the Reds. It's got to be
baseball.
It's got to. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just being a dick. It's got to be a cool atmosphere. That would be fun to go see. I was talking to Lab. I'm trying to get tickets to go to a Sox game, Red Sox game, and sit up in the monster seats. If you could go to one stadium, which stadium would you go to? And you can't, I mean, old Yankee Stadium, I think everybody would want to go there, but no old Yankee Stadium, obviously. You can't go there anymore. But if you could go to one of the ballparks right now. I didn't think it was going to.
I don't know. Maybe, I guess Boston, just with the tradition.
It's Fenway Park. Don't be disrespectful.
I'd probably go to Boston.
Not Wrigley?
I've been to Wrigley, and there's.
You've been to Wrigley?
I haven't been in the stadium.
Oh, you've been around. Okay. You've seen it?
I ran around the stadium for a bunch of money.
What?
It's a story for another time.
What? You cannot just say shit like this. I've never heard it. And now our audience has heard you say that you ran around the stadium for a bunch of money. That isn't apparently appropriate for the podcast, yet it was in public. Is this a story for another time?
I'll tell you the story, and then after, and you let me know if it's a story for our.
We can
podcast.
wait a couple weeks to figure it out.
Yeah, let's wait.
So Wrigley or Fenway it is. Yeah,
Boston, yes.
Boston.
Boston. Fenway it is. I would go to New York, the new stadium. I mean, there's so many good ones. Arlington's new stadium.
Yeah, I would love to
amazing.
go
Their
there.
old one was nice. I went to that one. St. Louis was great. Busch Stadium was nice. The Coliseum, hands down, is amazing. There's so many that are good.
I apologize to our A's friends there.
Hey, most
They
major league games
probably-
I've been to is the A's.
Yeah.
Cost me like $5
Nah,
a ticket.
hey, I'm with you. The only
see a
ballpark
big
in
league game.
California I've yet to go to is Chavez Ravine.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium.
You got to be some kind of stupid to go there if you're not a Dodger fan.
Why do you say that?
If you're not a Dodger fan.
If you're not a Dodger fan, well, no, I got to hit all the ballparks.
Then I'm dressing up as a Dodger fan that day.
So you don't get beat up, called out.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't have to deal with. Who
I don't want to
cares?
deal with it.
I think about the World Series when we went to Houston and I had on Brave stuff. Not one person. We talked about it. Not
Yeah,
one.
but we're in Houston. We're not in LA, bro. Come on.
That's. I mean, I guess it's true. I don't know. That's my people, though. They're not gonna say nothing to me. Maybe they will. You don't back the blue there.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a cross-eyed look.
I'm not trying to go in the hospital.
I've actually heard though that it's a cool place, Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
So definitely need to check that one. I don't know, man.
I mean, it'd be nice to go to all of them.
Yeah. I had a friend of mine, his dad just went to stadium in Colorado where the Rockies play. They said it was awesome.
Yeah. How can a big league stadium not be awesome?
Hey,
you know what I mean?
The Trop,
obviously, there's going to be
is the
better
Trop
ones.
awesome?
Why can't it be?
I don't know. I've never been there. We'll have to ask Loop. It just doesn't look awesome.
Because it's in a dome and there's no fans. It looks empty every day.
Exactly. It looks like an afterthought. It looks like, oh shit, we got a baseball
Cleveland
team.
looks fun.
Yeah. I don't like that they changed the name from Jacobs Field
Yeah.
to Guardians. I don't know what I don't know.
Is it a new field?
It's not
They changed-
Jacobs Field anymore.
Why?
I don't know.
Should have been Cox Field for Bobby Cox.
Bobby Cox. Atlanta's new ballpark looks sick. But yeah, just for the nostalgia.
Oh no, Bobby Cox is in Atlanta.
He was.
Why was I thinking Cleveland for a sec? I don't know. That was
Tito?
Turner Field. I mixed up Cleveland and Atlanta. I apologize.
Yeah, it's okay. You're forgiven.
It needs to be Jobu Field then. Let's make up for it.
Ricky Vaughn ballpark. I think Fenway for me though. Also, if it's not Fenway or Yankee Stadium or Wrigley. Those are the three like bucket list places I want to go.
Wrigley, I've heard it's terrible though.
Whatever.
Like, I've heard.
When was the last time you heard? No, they've fixed it up a little bit. They've
Maybe.
dressed it up a hair.
I only got to see the field from running.
I want to hear this story. Hey, any questions, anything from this last episode, anything we missed, please let us know. If you got any news or updates or inside scoop on the Texas Tech and the tweet that came out this week about kids getting cut, or any more advice for players, looking to play at the next level and questions to ask, please send them our way. We don't have all the answers. We don't probably have half the answers. So anything you got for us, we'd love to hear it. Again, we appreciate everybody listening to the podcast. If you're not listening, it's available on all podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker. Here on YouTube, please subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at HIT.OR.DIE Podcast. And that's another episode of the HIT.OR.DIE Podcast.
HIT or die.